Okay, so I wanted to give an update on this truck because I haven't posted anything on it in a while. I really haven't posted almost anything on YouTube in probably a year or more, but done a lot of work on this, and I wanted to give an update on it because I get to commenting back and forth with 318 Will Run about his truck and about how he's got followers that think he's from Arizona. Actually, but he's from Northern Illinois. I was telling him I'm from Southern Wisconsin, but I got this truck from Arizona, and kind of sharing with him. I have a kind of similar story with this truck. I've got the low buck Magnum 360 engine in it. I got a bunch of fluid underneath here because I've been working on it this weekend. I need to clean it up, but I'll kind of walk through some of the little stuff I've done. It looks a little bit different, and I have had it on the road, although it's not really road worthy. I've just had it around the block, just kind of shaking it down, seeing what else needs to happen with it. It needs wheel bearings, but I don't want to put suspension components in it yet, just because it does need an upper control arm for the other side. I'll show you that here in a minute, what I found with it, but I kind of want to walk you through what I've done in the last few months. I guess one thing, I really like these prospector badges, so I did add a few prospector badges on it. And also you'll see these wheels are more correct wheels. They're not the Ford 90s Ford aluminum wheels that were on it that had to have the spacers. So I took those spacers out, put those wheels on there, got myself some correct looking wheel covers. And also you'll notice the windshield has also been replaced. That was a fun project. I had to get my wife to help me with that one because just I don't know how one person could do that by themselves unless they're really a glass specialist. This door is open, by the way. That's kind of why you see that crack in there. It's not weather stripping. It's the fact that the door is just cracked. I've had it open a little bit, but I'm gonna show you few things that I did notice. Again, if you guys remember, this truck was, I believe, in a junkyard at some point because the oil pan, the transmission pan, and the gas tank all had holes drilled through them. And I don't know why somebody would put this thing in the junkyard, because I mean, if we look at it, I mean, there's no rust on this thing. Even in the normal spots, there's no rust. And there is some red paint in here. Somebody had painted there's some bird shit on top there, but somebody had painted a Confederate flag on the roof, and I just decided I don't want that for this truck. Not that I have anything against that. Well, I guess I do, but that's for another conversation. But I wanted to get it off here just because I like the factory look better. Kind of same thing, factory wheels. I want the factory look. But there's no real rust on this thing. And even in the bed, I mean, this bed's dirty, but there's no rust or anything in it. It needs a good cleaning, but this is just kind of how it came whenever I brought it home. There's those wheel spacers. It's got little dents and dings and stuff in it, but I really don't care about that kind of stuff. But again, why would this thing end up in the junkyard? And I got to thinking, well, I didn't get to thinking, I got to looking at it a little bit closer, and I noticed the wheel spacing here with these newer wheels on it, or these bigger wheels on it, I should say. This one's okay, but the other side, the whole wheel was crammed back to almost here. And I got to look at the frame to see if the frame was tweaked, and the frame wasn't tweaked. It was this upper control arm. I got in here and really looking at it, and it was bashed in really bad. And it kind of makes sense, he probably ran into a ditch, and when he did, he caved this in, and that's why this is free. And he caved in this bumper a little bit, and then he broke that windshield, and then he probably started driving and handling like crap. So he probably just sent it to the scrapyard, and it makes sense. Kind of looking at some videos and stuff, not some videos, sorry, some pictures of the old owner's Facebook, doing a little snooping. I see that he tried to take this thing off-roading, which, I mean, it's not really, I mean, not something I would do with it. And it's a D100, it's not really meant for it. But he put some little bumps in it, and I'm thinking about probably hiring somebody to do some paintless dent repair and getting them to come out and straighten some of this out. But otherwise, the truck really looks good, and I'll kind of walk you through some of the stuff that I did. These seals are in okay shape, but the ones here on the door were in really bad shape, so I went ahead and replaced these. Another thing was I replaced the door locks so I could go ahead and lock and unlock it. Replaced the fuel tank, had the transmission gone through. Going to the Magnum engine, you can't run a mechanical fuel pump on these, so I had to do a electric fuel pump, and just kind of went through and got this thing running okay. I still need to clean up some of this wiring. A lot of this was just proof of concept, and get rid of the fusible links and put in a little fuse box here, just for one for interior fuse, one for interior lights, one for exterior lights, one for hazards, and then I have a secondary fuse. And again, I gotta clean this all up, but a secondary fuse for alternator. But did the 4-barrel intake on it. It's just an old M1 intake, Mopar intake. What else have I done on this thing? Oh, I replaced the steering wheel with a factory steering wheel. Got this one off eBay for, I think I paid $40 for it, but the horn was malfunctioning and the horn was constantly going off, so I had to fix the two pads were contacting each other, so I had to create some standoffs, and I just got some plastic standoffs and glued them in there, rubber standoffs, and glued them in there so that the two are separated, but with pressure they'll still contact each other. Very similar to how the factory did it, but the old ones are just rotted off inside there. So this is now fixed, well, unless you press it, but it's now fixed. And also this dash, when I had the windshield out, this dash, I didn't like the old brown, so I used a vinyl paint. I painted that, and I painted the door panels here. I still need to do something with the bottom of here. I want to get some carpet and create like a speaker panel and maybe put some pockets on them too. And I am kind of being coy. I am hiding something that something else I've done that I don't want to show just quite yet. But when I had the windshield out, I did this. And then also the notorious thing that's wrong is these the linkages inside here. I put the bushings on the linkages, all 4 of them. There's videos of people doing them inside here, and I might have just got lucky. I probably did. Nothing, no shade on anyone else, but I was able to take this whole cowl off, take the whole wiper transmission set out, and do all 4 of the linkages on my bench, and then come in here and snake the whole thing in, and literally just 3 bolts here, 3 bolts there, and then connect it to my my wiper motor with the nut. Not even putting that bushing inside here. All 4 bushings on a table. And work great. I haven't gotten these back on here, the arms back on here, because I am thinking about switching to the J-hook style wiper arm. I just need to do a little bit more research on it instead of the straight wiper arm style. But I'll show you the other thing that I did here. Oh, also I did do a factory radio in here, and I do need an ashtray. I need to get this one out. It's all cracked, and I would like to replace that. But the one thing I did that I'm really proud of is I upholstered my own seat. So this is all vinyl and fabric, industrial vinyl, marine grade vinyl, and industrial fabric that I used to kind of mirror or mimic the original pattern. And then one thing that I did that's kind of custom was I sewed myself a pocket in here. So this is a pocket I can store stuff in, maps or whatever I want. And then again, the beauty of this truck is just how rust free it is. I mean, I don't really have even vacuumed these floors since I brought them home. I mean, there's still crap in here, but this is factory paint. And again, I need to attach the fuse panel back to that panel and put this back in and button up some of this wiring, but I mean, this thing's in really good shape. Oh, and this dome light, getting this dome light to work. So the wiring down here was all shorted out, and I think it was shorting to ground inside this panel that goes in back here. So that wiring was just melted, so I had to run fish new wire and redo that. But yeah, this truck's been a fun little project. And when I get that upper control arm replaced, I got one of those coming, and I'll do that, and I'll do wheel bearings. It did eat up those wheel bearings, so the probably just threw off the geometry so bad that the wheel bearings just ate themselves up. That's my guess, but just wanted to give you guys another walk around of the truck. Oh, one thing I did forget, if you guys remember, the whole back side of this truck was spray painted black, like up to like here, just black, like spray bombed. And I took all that off with lacquer thinner, and I found this little scratch, and I found this scratch, but otherwise I don't know why you get spray bombed that black. I replaced these tail lights. I also put all the trim back on the truck, so every piece of trim is back on here, including the chrome trim up here. Same over here. Replaced tail lights on both sides, but look, this is, I mean, he's spray bombed it black way past here. These little scratches is all I can see wrong with it. There's the prospector badge on the other side here. And those are just a nice little touch. I mean, somebody's probably gonna be mad that I put them on there and it's not a prospector or something, but I like them, so I really don't give a shit. And then again, this tailgate was also spray bomb black, and I haven't gotten the patience to take all this off, and I probably won't. I'll probably just find a brown that matches and paint it brown. But the outer side, this is a project my son helped me with. I did throw a video on TikTok for this, but I took lacquer thinner, I got all of the black paint. This thing was almost all painted black. Got all that off, and then painted the Dodge letters on there too. But I mean, I don't know, what was he trying to accomplish? Protecting these little scrapes and scratches? I mean, I'm happy just to oil that, but still need to get a rear bumper for it. And I think I'm either gonna look for a sport bumper, or either I'm gonna do a roll pan here. I don't want that big blocky diamond plate bumper. It's not as good side at the moment, but we'll get it back together in the next few days.